Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's rock and roll. We have all the A's today. It's a AAA week. As far as earnings go, we have Amazon, Apple, and AMD. The others just don't really count. They don't mean anything. We got a lot of AI stuff. It's gonna be an AI week. Plus, we have Powell. I think Powell's gonna talk about something. So let's. Speaking of which, let me just bring that up and see. Hang on, brother. Let's bring that in here. Please just go. There we go. All right. Technician says, it's your birthday. I don't know what in the world would ever make him think that. Nope. All right. Fed rate decision on the 1st. That's Wednesday. So nothing. The first couple days, no letters, no nothing. We have PMI, Fed rate decision. It's going to be nothing. I think you're borderline delusional. I think it's going to be anything else. Can you imagine if they were to add increase? We would. Any put would do, regardless of how far out of the money. Probably be just fine. All right. Continuous jobless claims Thursday, Friday, non-farm payrolls. All right, cool. I actually have to expect this week to kind of chop around. I bet we're going to see a lot of up and down. I think we're going to start to turn this thing around. As far as the dollar goes, talk about getting wrecked. I am. At least I'm red in my Forex position because the Japanese yen needs to chill. Absolutely chill. All-time highs. Just won't stop going down. And I'm short the US dollar Japanese yen. So I need them to I need them to go up. As far as the dollar goes, it unfortunately right now, if I could just work the mouse, that does look like a bull flag. And I have a feeling we'll be talking a lot about today about how it hits a zone and rejects, hits the zone and bases out. You're going to start to see that continuation. And as far as watching the dollar goes, I do want to keep an eye out of it up here in this weekly zone right here. Do me a huge solid real quick if you're watching. Hit the thumbs up and make sure you're subscribed. That's all. As far as Bitcoin goes, a little bit of the red, just playing the back and forth game. It'll be interesting to see if it holds this speed bump zone. Now, more sellers here at this 67 mark and then the 58 mark. Again, my major add-on will be down here at 51. Other than that, we're kind of just jacking around. All right, Russell. See, that kind of looks like I don't think we're done yet. I really don't. As far as this market goes, so we bounced out of this zone, hit that, rejected, actually made it all the way down to this bottom zone, but ultimately held this little speed bump zone. And that's where you expect some turbulence, maybe a reversal, maybe a base out. We're back into here. But notice our open right now is nothing like the last couple of weeks. We're kind of back to how we normally open up. There might be a red or a green color on the screen, but nothing really open. We got a lot of time until open. With the Fed rates decision, I think you have nothing until Wednesday. And as far as earnings goes, there's going to be a lot of, if I'm going to guess right now, just low volume chop. So I would be selective as far as my trades go this week, especially for everyone who's trading futures. On times like this, I won't take 16 losses before I find out it was choppy. I've probably taken 2. There's always like a trade I take at the bell. So at the bell, if we send it down, I probably just bought it. If we send it up, I go short. Sometimes it's a check mark day, right? Just turns around and continues. Most of the time, if I'm being honest, I make like $50. Now it's like $12.50 per tick. So that's not that much. I'm making nothing. And then, we'll see what happens the rest of the day. And that might be the only trade I even take unless I see an actual solid setup. So not that I can give financial advice, but as a trader talking to another trader, maybe you chill. There should be no reason you have any emotions this week. Maybe, or at least Monday and Tuesday. Let's at least hang tight till Wednesday. If I had to throw darts, we're gonna get a little bit higher, find that type 2 area, and then probably send it down. I do think ultimately that will be some sort of bear flag. Lori says, I'm just waiting for my theta to decay. Man, outside of any like volatile swings, I think it's going to be a great theta week. Anybody who sold options, yeah, you guys are going to be rocking. All right, so as far as the Qs goes, now I will say I talked about this blue line, and I made it brighter blue for a reason because I thought we'd make it that high, and that's where we would reverse. And I don't know if I want to walk that back, but I kind of think we could get a little bit higher. I don't know if it's just because current market feelings or what. But I do stand by what I said or say, I guess. I don't think this is it. I don't think we go to all-time highs. Now, this did get to 8%. Didn't quite make the correction territory. And for everyone who, and I keep hearing this on YouTube, and I'm just going to keep repeating it until people learn the actual terminology. A pullback, 1 to 9%. Correction, 10 to 19. Crash, 20% or greater. There's no such thing as a 5% crash. There is if you have no idea what you're talking about, sure. And if you want to continue doing that, by all means, you live it up. But please just remember what I said and get it right. That'd be great. So we hit this zone. I almost started to reject. I think Google might have saved the day on this one, just it being a tech company. As far as I am going to put an alert right here. Now, I said, again, I'm going to be selective. If we get here, and my chat can hold me accountable to this, I'm going in. I'm going to buy some. I don't know if I'll go at the money. Where's that going to put us at? It's going to put us right up here. 437. I'll probably buy some I'll probably grab a few. Some 435 puts and some 430 puts, kind of spread it out. The 430 will be considerably cheaper, but, that's why. Just less likelihood relative to the 435. Let me put it that way. So I'll probably grab a few of each, and that will be my play, I think. For everyone that has my charts, these are not the accurate expected moves. I haven't updated them yet, so hang tight. Those will be. As far as the S&P, I could even see us getting to that zone right here. Cody, I know you don't want to hear this. Because SPY puts, that's where I'm going to add on to SPY puts. And I'm going to stick with June. What do we have? Oh, shoot. I had the first week of July or the last week of June. And I was so 50-50 when I even took the play. My chat was like, let's do this. So I went with that. As far as SPY goes, I'm probably going to grab, I'm going to probably be a different strike. It's going to put us right around this area, 515s. I'll probably grab some 510s. All right, so we're going to get into Apple, Amazon, and AMD. But for now, if we could just chop up to here, that would be fantastic. Now that's a trade I would take both on the S&P and the NASDAQ. That's a trade I would take tomorrow, Tuesday. I'm saying hang tight until Wednesday. I'll take that when that alert goes off. So that being said, I know my risk. I know what I'm getting into. That's just where I'll be on that one. Let's get Apple out of the way because that one's just annoying. All right, Apple. So hit that zone, rejected. Ultimately stayed inside last week's expected move. Let's see where we're at this week. I forgot to pull up TOS before. So now it's installing the updates. Man, if you even blink, that thing has to install updates. What are they updating every 15 seconds? You guys ever notice that? All right. Do I think Ethereum crashes big time if the Fed rejects an ETF? Probably. There's probably some buyers based off of that, but yeah. I would assume so. There will be some sellers. Google came through big time, now sitting in cash. Oh, it did. And shout out to everybody in my group that was in Google. I found out how many of you guys were following along with my play. Because there was a lot of chatter the next day. If you guys must know, my new name is Dividend Don. And my top 3 dividend tickers are Meta, Nvidia, and now Google. That's right. They announced a dividend, and I just want to say, I want to start having these talks about residual income, how I collect a check every week. how my money makes all the talks the YouTubers have. May 3rd expiration 741 for Apple. Yeah, I'd appreciate if you guys call me Dividend Don from now on. It literally puts us right there in that zone. Actually, give me one hot second. I'm gonna get the actual numbers. I can grab my sheet. Okay, that was 741 for Apple. 176.71. 3 cents off. So close. 176.71. And our bottom line, 161.89. Shoot. What's Apple gonna do? This is gonna get me absolutely fried on the YouTube community. I don't know if I'll take it. Gun to my head, right now I have to take a trade. I would go short Apple. Well, you gotta be an Apple puts. I do think the trade I would take right now, no problem. If tomorrow gaps up, goes up, it's just a green day tomorrow for Apple. If I can sell the 179 call spreads, a $2 spread, if I could sell that and collect anything, I would probably sell that call spread. Let me grab Amazon real quick. 1361. All right. 13. Yeah, short Apple. They're just a bunch of turtles. All right, there's Meta's earnings, and then there's Google's earnings. All right, 193.23. Hmm. 166.01. So are we really talking all-time high? So green earnings puts that at all-time highs. Once Amazon split, I've lost so much interest in it. Now I own it in my investment account. I do sell calls against it, but this used to be my bread and butter, and so much so that if I said I had a good day, it was under 15,000. If I said I had a great day, it was 15,000 and over, and it was always just Amazon and Tesla. And then they split, and now all the peasants are in Amazon, and then it just kind of sucks. And by peasants, I mean it just wasn't the same. I don't like to buy 15,000, of one contract. I could just buy one, and it cost 15,000, and it was great. So honestly, it went completely off my radar. The fact that a good earnings might send that to all time highs. I do think we're pricing in quite a bit more due to what Google had said. Now this just moves. This was the day. You guys correct me if I'm wrong. Meta had bad earnings, gapped that thing down. Now it did recover. Google had earnings, gapped it up. I would be bullish this one, but I don't know if I would be that bullish. As far as, let's grab some zones. Let's go up here. All right, Winnie the Pooh shows up right there. So as far as zones goes, we're rocking that. Cody says, I want $100 Amazon. You might have to see if you can't get them to split again. I think that's probably off the table. Can you imagine for that to get to 100 again? Not impossible, I guess. That's gonna be rough. You guys remember that one pandemic we had? It was huge, right? Everyone was wearing masks. And it was a stock market collapse like crazy. Anyway, that's it right there. That little blip by my head. We sneeze on a Tuesday and move that much now. All right. Final answer. Bullish. Bullish Amazon. Oh, you mean 100 shares, not Amazon at 100? Okay. Um, I will say, as far as the growth account goes, Tesla has to be the next one in there, but I really have kicked around the thought of making it Amazon or Google because we get there a little bit faster, I think. I didn't know if we were about to jump into the mentorship and I was going to tell you you're crazy or what, but all right. I'm glad you're not completely stupid. Mildly, can we say that? 100% kidding. My admin is absolutely amazing. You guys, 100% just because I called him stupid. I'm going to follow that up with 1357. He's absolutely killed it as far as this whole grabbing shares, selling calls against it, double dipping on all those calls. 170.97. 143.83. Gosh, so Intel wrecked. Chris says I'm going to do a put on this one. I just switched over to AMD. So are you a fast typer or are you thinking a put on Amazon? And I'm curious, guys. I want to hear all you guys is if you guys play earnings, put it in the comments. I want to hear just kind of what everybody's doing. I'll recognize the name and just how you play. There really is no wrong answer. If you give me some crap that's 2-3 standard deviations out of the money, I know I just called it crap. I'm gonna do it. But really, it doesn't make you any more right or wrong than anything I'm taking. It really is a roulette trade. So, and I would caution anybody that says otherwise that they knew, and I saw a lot of this about Google and Meta. They knew it was going to happen. Told you so. Should have followed me. I'm like, nah. I would steer clear of those guys because they're absolutely clueless. Probably brand new. They're either brand new or they are just running some sort of scam. Period. Oh, AMD. Okay, so AMD, you want to grab some puts? Man, I just think now the trend is down. It's doing just fine. If it has anything to do with Intel, it's coming down. I don't know how I feel about this one. Risking 200 to 300, depending on where you take it. That's what I do like. Here's what I'm going to take. Here's where my opinion is, but here's how much I'm risking if I'm wrong. I'm not losing any sleep over the night. What I don't want to hear is I can't pay rent if this happens. That's a steep sell off for AMD. Don't get me wrong. AMD's had plenty of time to sell off, and it does it. It's not like AMD's certainly not NVIDIA, and it's sold off way more back here. But what I'm kind of curious is what's everyone's, and I care about the bulk of buyers and sellers, right? I don't really care about the reason, but do all the buyers, are they pricing in stuff that's already happened? Has it been beat down enough? Kind of like why I was just bullish Tesla. I was like, man, at that 160 level, I think did it get below? No. I don't know. It's just it's hurt enough. Like at what point do people say like, bring me something new? If I haven't sold yet, I'm not going to. Now, certainly what you don't want to do is look at a chart and think, that's sold off a lot. I'm going to go long. There is a reason it's selling off, but I do think for this earnings play, it being a chip, I do think I'm going to go long this one. May 17th, 150 Apple puts, $22 each. 150. Apple's not a big mover. It'd have to crash. I mean, that one would pay off. Those are what I call Instagram trades because if Apple has a bad earnings and your 150 puts are up, they'll go from 22 cents to $2, and someone will be on Instagram talking about how they knew, and they do this all the time. Congrats to people that take those, but if you do come onto my channel bragging, I'm going to ask you to do it twice. Just do it 2 times in a row. Call it out beforehand, by the way. Um, this one I'm gonna be bullish on, but for me to take a play, I do need to sell off first. If we sell off, we kind of get back down here to this 150 level. Give me a few dollars off. Give me a dip buy. Now I'll be buying probably a crystal clear bear flag, for being honest. But I would probably buy calls on this one. I think Divvy Don. That's right. Dividend Don. Some friends call me Divvy Don for short. Uh, maybe they announce a dividend too, and maybe this will be my dividend portfolio. The thing that cracks me up about dividends, guys, if you guys don't know now, if you're watching, now this is on Power Zone Trading. This is on Don Fron Show. It's on my Twitter or X, and it's on Don Fron Trading. Now, Don Fron Trading is where I talk about everything stock-wise, all the trading stuff that I do, Sunday Stock Talk, all of that. Don Fron Show, I just converted to in AI stuff. So AI investments, AI tools, updates, stuff like that, because it's mind-boggling just how many people don't know what's going on in the AI and robotics world. And not to be that noble person, but I kind of felt like I needed to get the word out. Does that make sense? Because I feel like I'm losing my mind. Because people keep telling me, not in my lifetime. That's not gonna happen. I'm like, you're out of your mind. But anyway, we're live on all that. And I closed my dividend portfolio down. Ford that I've had for over a decade is now gone. Hang on, I might still own some shares. Okay, I still own some shares. I had some 13 calls that I was just gonna let go, and then Friday it gapped down. So I still have a little bit left. Um, but tomorrow I'll sell 13s again. Yeah, and what I did was I just put it all in AI stuff. So I beefed up Nvidia, bought a lot of Tesla, bought more Meta. Someone posted in the comments says, "Hey, you're gonna buy more Meta shares." Like, I don't know if you've ever watched a video of mine for longer than 5 minutes, but yes, we'll probably always be buying more Meta shares. You are right. AI is moving at breakneck speed. That's for the people that are even watching it. I am watching and researching it every day, and there's still more stuff coming out. And honestly, I'm talking to people that are in the AI space. I'm like, oh, so tell me, what do you think about this? And even they haven't heard about it. AI is moving, and robotics at such a rate that if you are not physically flipping over every rock, you're not keeping up. I don't care if you work with AI right now. If you're not researching everything else in all the spectrums, you're not keeping up. It's crazy. But anyway, I've always kind of made fun of dividends. I even said I was going to beef up my dividend account because it sounds cool. And some YouTubers, they always sell me on it. They're like, oh, residual income. I collect a check every week. You know, they're always talking about how they don't worry about the stock market going up or down because they collect money. Even though I've been doing this for 11 years, it still sounds so cool. It's like, oh, I'm going to do a dividend thing one day. And I was like, no, AI is too fast. I need to get my last hoorah in there. Like, I do think this is where people will roll their eyes. I don't know what happens to the stock market when there's an actual AI, not an LLM, but an actual AI. So I think there's going to be companies that will buy out other companies. I think there will, instead of the Magnificent Seven, it'll probably be just the top two. And they'll buy the other Magnificent Seven. The Magnificent Seven just get all gobbled up into a couple just, I don't know what, mega corporations, whatever you want to call them. There's a big word out there for them. I think we get into that. So as far as the AI stuff goes, I've just been casting my net. Someone's gonna win it, and I don't know who. I'm just hoping I'm in it, and hopefully I capitalize on that kind of last push up before things get weird. So if there is something you're gonna take from me, it's maybe get your head out of the sand, quit playing ostrich, and you might think I sound weird. Look into it for a couple hours, and then tell me what you think, because things are crazy. Anyway, out of everyone here, there's 85 of you guys here. Could you guys do me on whatever channel you're on? Hit the thumbs up button for me. You guys got 5 more minutes. Let's go 5 more minutes. Let me just answer some questions in the chat. I'll make this video 30 minutes long. What's everybody looking at? While you guys type that, I'm gonna update my expected moves. The third IWM 491. QQQ 963. It's weird that we have more. I guess Microsoft and Meta and Google are probably some big ones. I'd say the expected move for those went down. $8.36, but Apple's not a big mover, especially compared to the earnings we had last week. Tesla $9.40. Meta last week was $45. This week it's $18.45. Where we at? Lori and Lisa, the VIPs, they are the ladies of the mentorship, said I hit thumbs up in 2 channels above and beyond. Any thoughts on natural gas as an AI play? Data centers, more electricity and stuff. That's actually a very good question. Maybe one you could probably dive into. Very good question, because people are talking about how, oh, EVs, they take this much and that much. And there's so much EV crap out there that people are absolutely clueless and dumb about. And I get Biden started talking about GM and everyone should make an EV thing, and it turned into a political thing. But please, for the love of God, just stop and go research electric vehicles. And just notice, by the way, for those of you guys that are on the political spectrum, Biden has never said Tesla. He said GM. They just paid him to say it. No one's pushing anything. They're just doing what they were paid to say. But anyway, yes, data centers are a much, much bigger consumer of this resource. And Microsoft is building $100 billion. Is it $100 billion? Yeah, $100 billion data center. We think that's going to run on sunflower seeds, or hopes and dreams. No, that thing's going to be ridiculous. I guess right now, without putting any actual thought into it, I'm curious, because I will say the one thing we're doing as we ramp this up, there are new technologies going into solar. Solar made another actual advancement the other day. Solar's getting better. More solar panels are being made and put out there. So as the strain picks up, I will say more, what do you call it? Free energy, the giant reactor that shows up every day in the sky. I don't know if that offsets it, but there's certainly not anything I think actually, and again, 2 seconds worth of thinking about this. I think what you'll end up seeing, summer months, natural gas goes up. It'll probably tick up like this, slowly move up. And instead of I don't want to say it's going to move up like this, but it'll probably look more like this. Well, we might just have a new bottom. Summer months will pick this thing up, take off, might have some catalysts, might be some shortages, whatever the reason is, pushes up, pulls back, and then your new bottom is now this level, not $1. Your new bottom might be $2.50 or $3. I think that would be more. I think it probably look more like that. Certainly not anything I'd be buying right now, hoping to gain off the next week. That's a really good question, though. I did that too. Does it do any good to do thumbs up on both channels? YouTube likes interaction and view time. So the longer you watch of that video, it looks at percentage viewed. If it's a 30-minute video and you watch 15 minutes, I look like a failure. So because it thinks that it sucks. He says, "Thank you. I usually ask really dumb questions." There really is no dumb questions. The what you guys call dumb questions, I call the easy ones, because I get to look like a hero and it takes 2 brain cells to answer. Eugene says, diesel. I know, I work construction on these. Yes. Something about diesel? MSTR? All right, MicroStrategy. What an absolute beast. All right. Now, for most of you broke people out there, you're probably not playing uh calls and puts like some people in my chat are. They are, well, they make me look like a peasant. Put it that way. I wonder if that's, hang on, let's just get rid of these lines. Now, this did turn into a momentum play. But I will say you have buyers. This is a very interesting level because we gapped into this, sent it, and anything we sold below gapped up in. Okay, we gapped up into here. So your buyers are at this level because they even came back over here. Nothing but buyers, nothing but buyers. I wouldn't. I'd be bullish as long as this level holds. If it breaks this, I think we start gap filling. We go down. Their earnings is on the 30th. That's going to be a pricey earnings. But the way this one moves, I mean, this thing, you think, I was pumped. I was in a trade. I was in some call options on Tesla and Amazon. Now, in one day, both of them went up $200 each. This would cast a shadow on even that. What's this? 1945 to $1,700. Uh, yeah. If they said, now this turned into a momentum trade. And I think there's a lot of momentum traders that might still have this on their watch list. I would be so careful with this one. This is not a cheap one. So it's one I almost don't even want to entertain. If it wasn't for who asked this, I wouldn't be going over it. It's a tough one to even give your opinion on because if you are wrong, you get roasted. Because this just isn't a cheap one, and it won't be a cheap mistake. I think I would play earnings. If they say anything good, if there's anybody that went short because of how up it was, I think they get out. So more about if they say something good and it triggers anything up, I think it could get pretty dicey to the upside as a short squeeze. I know from experience that MicroStrategy can make those massive moves. Oh, I know. All right, let's do Intel and SoFi. And then I lied as far as making a 30-minute stream. I even knew earnings was bad on Intel. I even told my group I like Intel at this level right here, the $30 level. Honestly, on Friday I would have bought some had I saw it there. Now, I do like Intel, but I don't. If you guys followed the growth account last year, we were all about this over here. At one point, yeah, we were short right here. We were long shares. We were in a put and a sold call. Like we had the whole spectrum of plays. I do like it here at this level. It's not bad to if you're gonna run the wheel strategy, it's liquid enough to do that on. But I just like Intel at the $30 mark. I wish I had more to break down on that for you. So 31.88, yeah, you're a couple pennies off. As a trade, I wouldn't want to breaking this zone. I would probably give it 29.45 would be my stop. So I would go long right in this situation. Maybe you can catch a little bit of a dip buy right here. 29.45 would be my stop. That would be my take profit right there. But if you follow me for any amount of time, you know take profits are just more an idea of how this trade could pan out. But more than likely, at this point, I have my stop in the green. I'll probably add on right here and hopefully break above. Some people really like to making a big deal about the only trades they take are asymmetrical trades. And I don't know what other trades there are out there. You know, are you just risking 6 to make 1? You just an options lover or something? Because in the options chain, probability of touch, probably it suggests you should be playing something like that. But is that just a new fancy term some YouTubers came out with? They drink tea with their little pinky up? I only make asymmetrical trades. Oh, good. You got the basics. You want to make more than your risk. Fantastic. Look at you go. Is there a course I can buy? Anyway, that's why I have the take profit there. Realistically, where am I going to run into trouble? And is it really just going to be a 1-to-1? Or do I stand a chance of making something? And what if I don't have the capital to take the next 10 trades that alerts come off on? And I got one trade looks like this one trade that looks like this. I have enough capital to take one. I'm going to take this one over here. But I hope they all go to 100,000. I hope every one of my trades are like AMC. It goes to 1 million, sure. As long as it keeps going up, I'll be in it. SoFi has earnings tomorrow. Right? Is that what you said? Tomorrow morning. So you're on that ride. You're already there. Is PayPal tomorrow morning or the next day? Next day. Okay. Can we get any hints at all? Looks like somebody's pricing in something. I think if earnings is the excuse to kick this thing off above this zone, I think it does really well and probably gets that. You got to watch out for this area right here, this 850, 860. But I would say I'd be more concerned about 9 than I would 850. If that makes sense. Tesla thoughts on tomorrow? Hopefully it pulls back some more. Can you guys believe I was this close to getting assigned Tesla shares because I sold the 160s? And then it just does that? Joke's on you. I bought the shares. How you feel about that? For anybody that's been following along, I've been selling the 160, and I still have the 160s for the next 3 weeks. I'm going to continue to sell those until we actually probably get above this area and it's not worth anything. But as far as my thoughts go, I kind of have to take it as a longer term trade. Pulling back into this zone, this 158 level, would just be a buy for me. But I got to wrap it up. Midship, don't go anywhere. We're going live right now. Get your webcams ready because it is Zoom night. And I want to see your faces. Everyone else, you will see me on, Don Fron Trading, if you're on that channel, on Tuesday. Make sure you hop over that channel, hit the subscribe button. Turn the bell on so you know when we go live. We're going to break all of these down. So we got Tuesday, we'll be talking about what's going to happen tomorrow. Wednesday, when Powell takes the mic, starts telling you why you should have bought puts. Just kidding. I'll see you guys there. Have a good one.